Hello everyone, welcome to English Short and Classes. Exercise 9. Get ready for the dictation. Start. Since independence, considerable interest has been shown by the states, individuals, and voluntary agencies in the field of education. Educational facilities are being gradually extended to the remotest corners. Burden of tuition fees is being sought to be lessened, especially for the weaker sections of our people. More attention is being given to education of girls and for providing technical, scientific, and professional instruction. Nevertheless, I must confess I am far from happy with the progress we have made or the direction our educational programs have taken. Equal opportunity in the full and true sense does not exist. Even though the government gives merit scholarships to the deserving children of low income group to enable them to take advantage of public school education, the portals of our best institutions have for all practical purposes remained the preserve of the affluent few. We have witnessed a proliferation of educational institutions, but the curriculum is more or less a legacy of the times of Lord Macaulay. We have spent much energy on issues of language and medium of instruction, and yet what has emerged is mostly clouds of controversy. We have not been able to evolve any system whereby our young boys and girls, after finishing their studies, can come out of their schools and colleges with any measure of self confidence to face the realities of life and to undertake their responsibilities as responsible citizens and custodians of the future. Standards of discipline and physical fitness have also noticeably fallen. It is not too late to make a dispassionate reappraisal. The educational system has to be relevant to the society in which we live. Our children are the greatest asset of the nation. The future of the country depends on them, and how safe the country's future will be in their hands depends in turn on the character and capabilities that our education system and our educational institutions instill, inspire, and build in them. Towards this end, our educational pattern has to be restructured so as to meet the challenge of our times. It should be flexible enough to adjust to the changing requirements, lest it should get fossilized. We cannot afford to pursue old methods in the changed situation. If we want to build a brighter and better India, we should start at the school level by training our girls and boys to be useful and worthy citizens of the motherland. Stop.